I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the Village, Facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed.
And a child shall lead them. Oops, that was you again. To buy our merch. We're doing a DJ stream for the big homie, the Lone Rider. The next song up on our list is Sevendust-Blender Cheno of Deftones. And I think I read that.
Cheno?
Yeah, I don't know.
Featuring Cheno.
Oh, I see.
Cheno Moreno is a...
See, this is what happens when you just copy and paste very fast.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Featuring Cheno of Deftones. I see it. Okay.
Bender featuring Cheno Moreno.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So, the Lone Rider said, a cool, dope song I love, and really is a great blend of Cheno's voice, Morgan the drummer screaming, and LaJohn's awesome vocals.
This should be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check them out. Sevendust. I can't believe I never heard this because I went through a big Cheno Moreno stage.
Oh,
at
you
one
did?
point.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. Sevendust-Blender with Cheno Moreno. Let's go.
Step on my disease so nice.
I don't know.
That's an interesting ending. We had the official video playing over here on the side, so we were able to see them in the studio doing that and then driving in the car together. It was a cute video. Probably cute's not the word people wanted for that. But it reminded me of, like, because it was dated back so far, it reminded me of driving that type of car, like the dated dashboards, driving around. And there was, like, woods. They were driving, like, on this older road, which just kind of reminded me of my time with my friends. By the time I got my license, that's when kind of freedom started striking a little bit for me.
He rode a white horse in the official video? Did you see him riding a white
I
horse?
saw them on horses, yes. But I looked back at the lyrics, so I might have missed a white horse.
Okay, so the name of the song is Bender.
Yeah, I thought he was, because he said so winded, I thought he was saying surrender.
No.
Because I wasn't watching lyrics, I was watching the video, and I really liked it being surrender. I'm a little disappointed that it's so winded. So let's get into the lyrics so I can see what it's about.
Well, a bender is like a big drug party. It's like where you just do drugs all night, basically.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
he talks about his teeth being numb, which is a
I've heard of
consequence
people's face being
ingesting
numb.
a lot of cocaine.
your teeth being numb.
Yeah, you know how, like,
I can't feel my
he's
teeth
talking about,
anyway.
like, tasting the numb of his teeth. So
Oh God.
it sounds like it is
I have a
big
medical
giant
background.
cocaine bitch. Go ahead.
So, like, some stuff to me is just, like, over the top friggin' crazy. And, like, I talked to this one girl. Well, maybe she was lying. I don't know. She said she went to this party where everybody just brought prescription meds. And they threw it into a fucking bowl. And then you would just take a little thing, scoop it out, and just take it. I'm like, what the fuck? So many people could die in that situation. You don't even know what the fuck you're taking.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't know what a bender was either. I Googled it and I put the thing up on the thing. So
So at these bender parties, what do they do?
yeah, they just
It's
do
like
a
the
bunch
same
of
thing?
drugs and don't sleep or eat. They just do drugs together all night. I went to parties and raves and stuff in the hood, but that shit never happened. Like, you know,
See,
people
Sadie
doing
said they used to do that all the time. The pill parties.
Hey, Vlad in the house. People were doing drugs and stuff at the, you know, like the worst I saw. There was cocaine. There was shout out to Ralph.
I've never been around any of that stuff.
He tried the exit, but nobody was doing it like all night. Like, that's crazy. Like, some of it is probably economic. We didn't.
Yeah.
I assume,
Yeah. How
especially
you gonna-
cocaine. I assume that that's something that, like, rock stars do because they've got the capital
Yeah.
to afford all that cocaine all night. Because cocaine is pretty expensive. You know, like those cocaine cowboy people that we've been listening to with Vlad and everything. Like, they're making like billions of dollars. Like, and how they were talking about they didn't look down on the cokeheads because they were all rich. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, like it just seems to me that but that song, I'm actually.
Do I have the right lyrics here? Wait, contain
Yeah.
me alone, only to I spit.
Well, I have the lyrics right there on the screen again, once again, but you know.
Like I said, I don't want to.
So winded, I've fallen down again, and then he says later, I follow the Walking Dead.
Oh God.
Step on my disease, so nice to see me bleed. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's
Oh wow! Now that you found out somewhat about me, I wonder how long will it be before you leave.
Yeah, maybe it's like they're all getting together and they don't know what to do with their money, so they're all going to have they're going to a bender, and then they maybe you're seeing people at their worst, you know what I'm saying, like. Because they're all coked up all night. They're not sleeping. They're not eating. So, like, they're just all high out of their minds. And it's like you've seen the person at their... Maybe people are going to be offended. But their worst, you know. You're not at your best in that altered state of consciousness for that long. Like, not sleeping for a while will make you hallucinate. I mean, I know that for a fact. And I'm not even talking about, like, general insomnia. Like, I was in situations where, like, purposely, they didn't let you sleep for 3 years. You start hallucinating shit. Like, you start, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so, not sleeping, not eating, and you're
Would
just
you
ingesting
hallucinate your
all of
fears?
these... Huh?
Or do you just hallucinate
No,
random
you don't.
shit?
I didn't hallucinate my fears or anything like that.
Look at the way you say that. Like Like, this is a crazy stuff. I mean, you've seen that before where people say those things, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I've been probably watching too many shows. You know, like where people hallucinate and then it's like the things that are scary to them is what all of a sudden they're seeing.
Nah, just seeing
is-
things that aren't there, or like
A raccoon? I mean, like, what do you mean? Like random shit? Like, oh, there's a lizard? I mean, what are we talking about? Like a mirage? There's a pool of water? What are we seeing here?
a lot of it
People?
was just like, for me personally, it was just stuff in the room that wasn't there, like when I was in a different room, basically. Like my mind couldn't process that I was in a different room. I can't, but like,
Yeah.
But anyway, it wasn't like anything like, it wasn't anything Hollywood or anything like that. Like,
Okay.
but I mean, again, like he's saying, I'm so winded, I've fallen down again. I follow The Walking Dead. Shout out to Zombieholic in the house.
That's kind of creepy. Like, I would not be a fan. Oh, no. What happened?
Yeah, Zombie, I'll definitely be praying for your friend. I'm very, very sorry to hear that. That's a fucking gut punch.
Sorry about that. Oh.
You should always be in good headspaces if you're gonna trip. Yeah, like I think there's a difference between like, taking DMT at these shamanic retreats or whatever, versus like, hey, we're gonna put a mountain of cocaine on the table, and we're just gonna like dive into this mountain of cocaine for all night. And we're gonna just, like, that shit is crazy to me. Like, I can't imagine doing it. But I get, like, when you're young and you feel like you're invincible and all that, and,
I think Dare really, like, did what it was supposed to do for me. Because that, to me, is a terrifying thought. Like, just, like, a pile that you don't know how much you're taking. Like, what if you overdo it and you land dead? Like, I can't even process. To me, that's not fun. I can't even...
I'm pretty sure... I don't know if you can OD from cocaine. You probably can. But I think for the most part, like, in a controlled environment, a lot of these people were okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it must have been, like, this big thrilling thing for them or whatever. Like...
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see that.
It must have been... And the other thing is, like, cocaine's an upper, right? So you can, like... you have all this energy, but you're sleep deprived. It must be like a really crazy, contradictory kind of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah,
Sadie says you can
absolutely OD on coke. So, shit, man.
But, and look, there's Middle Earth saying the same thing. You can. Don't do anything crazy based on... We're not professionals in this field.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've never done coke in my life, so, I mean, don't take it from me. I don't know. But... So it's like, slow it down. I'm so winded. I've fallen down again. I follow The Walking Dead. And it makes you sick. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, it must make you, like, it's one of those things where maybe you resent the people that you're around. Like, after you come down and you see, like, all the carnage and wreckage. Oh. That's why he's saying, like, so nice to see me bleed. And at the end of the song, he says, stupid fuck. You know what I'm saying? And spit, like, maybe at the end of it, he's like, man, this, you can't feel really good about yourself after all. Especially, like, you're doing all types of crazy shit with all these people.
Yeah.
And all your inhibitions are done. I don't know what happens with coke. Does coke lower your inhibitions?
I have no clue.
All I know is that
I have no clue what happens.
Sadie says she hates the way coke makes her feel. So, it looks like, shout out to Blair, it seems like it's like a party drug, like people will party or whatever, but like, it seems like the come down is pretty terrible. Like, there's this thing called Khat, Khat, and it's pretty popular among Somalis or whatever, and like, when you're in the throes of it, like you feel like a super soldier, like you're not scared of anything or anyone or whatever, but the come down is so, it's like bad, really, really bad. Like I was sitting to a guy and I was we were having a discussion and he was talking about it, and he was talking about, like, he's like, these people aren't really brave, brother. He's like, they're not really brave. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, they're not brave. They're just
hopped up on.
They're just fucked up on cot. That's all. But when they come down, like they want to jump off a bridge, kill themselves, all types of craziness. So,
Oh boy.
So I don't know. I think it's probably like it's a song of like that when you're young and you're coming into a lot of money and you're getting these parties and you're having this giant bender, but then at the end of it you're like, oh, this sucks, and you've seen me at my worst, I've seen you at your worst, and maybe there's like this mutual disgust with each other. Because at the end of it, it says spit, which is sort of like this disgusting. Maybe you spit a lot when you're on coke. I don't know, but like maybe they don't like each other afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't like being in a situation where you've kind of lost your inhibitions to the point where the person seeing you at your worst. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, like. You know how there's certain things that you can do that make you feel good, and then there are certain things that you do that make you feel bad. And there are bad things. Okay, I probably have to define those words more. Okay, so there's certain things that you can do that might feel good, like maybe your body feels good or it feels good in the moment, but then later you feel like internally like shit over that.
Yeah.
And like maybe it's one of those things, like I'm going to default to these words because I feel them more about the topic, but there are certain things that make you feel cleansed and certain things that just make you feel dirty. And, you know, like on a practical level, like every time we go to the sauna, I always feel cleansed after being in the sauna for the 30 minutes. It's extremely difficult. Don't do that unless you talk to your doctor first. But after we get out of the, the sauna and we're for 30 minutes, like I feel good about it. I feel good about the decision. I feel good about, forcing myself to stay when I really want to get out of there and make myself comfortable, at the sweating, all of that stuff. It's just like a really good experience. And then, I think that there are certain things that I've been a part of throughout my life that I'm like for instance, the college that I went to, I don't feel good about that. That college never made me feel good.
Your Christian college?
It made me feel good in the sense of like pious, like I was above, because we were towing such a rigid line that a lot of people couldn't tow that line because it was so fucking rigid. But because I grew up that way, it was easier to do. But I didn't feel good about it, like just internally like good. But then there were other things that I've done, like, helping certain people in certain situations, or, and this, sometimes like you're in a situation like where you've put, I like to be clean. I don't like anything dirty. Like anything dirty. Like I used to bring hand sanitizer in my purse to church, and the second the pastor asked everybody to shake hands, I was already like, ugh. I started thinking maybe I should put the hand sanitizer on before, so when I touch their hand, it's the wet with the sanitizer, and that's get, like it was very much. But then I kind of hit a point where, there are people that are in a lot of trouble, and they've been suffering for so long, and some of these people have been on very hard drugs or are currently still on the hard drugs, and people haven't. I noticed that touch is a very important thing, because a lot of people don't get that. They don't get just a genuine hug from somebody else that's not requiring anything of them. You're just trying to give them a hug because you care about them, and that is something that's very, very lost in a lot of situations, and that's because people take advantage of other people, and whatever. But I just got distracted by, sorry, I got the F-bombs tonight. So the clean sort of dirty thing, and I think that if you have a night where you're doing this, you're just partying the entire time. Like I don't think that the morning rolls around or the sobering rolls around and you feel internally good, like I did something good. Like I think that it has to feel like that sort of grimy, heavy sortedness that that goes in, and maybe that's why people kind of. Because the high itself probably feels good.
Yeah, that's what it says. Now that you found out somewhat about me, I wonder how long it'll be before you leave.
Yeah.
That's an interesting line, because he says somewhat. Because, people say that, if you take a drug like alcohol or whatever, that removes your inhibitions, that shows who you really are. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not sure that that's completely true.
I'm not sure it is
because
either.
People are so multi-layered. So
right.
It's like, no, it removes some inhibitions, and the snapshot that you're seeing is part of who they are, but that's not the complete.
Yeah.
You can't essentialize somebody based on that.
Yeah.
So He's saying, now that you've found somewhat about me, so you've seen me in this sort of, altered state of consciousness, and yeah, that's me, but that's not all of who I am. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to want to leave or whatever. And that's also an interesting take, because a lot of people feel that way, that if their significant other or their friends saw them for who they really were, then their friends wouldn't be their friends anymore. Mm-hmm. Which is where the doctrine of original sin becomes very helpful.
It does.
Because I don't feel that way. I think one of the benefits, there are drawbacks, but one of the benefits of being around each other 24 hours a day is that, you can't really, I don't really need a Coke binge or vice versa to see, the bad parts of a person.
Stop, Vin. Stop.
But that's love, right? That's what love is about. It's about being able to say, I saw that. That's you. That's inside of you. And I accept you. I love you regardless.
Yeah, you have a way of and I'm not blaming you, but you do have a way of pushing people to the point of who they really are.
It's true.
Must come out.
It's true.
And sometimes I'm like, why
true.
must he push me to this point where, you know what I mean? When there's something that really grates on you that, again, I've never been in a relationship where we spent this much time together. We live together, we sleep together, we work out together, we do everything together. So, and I'm sure that I push you to that level too. And sometimes I think to myself, Vin really loves me. He really, really does. Because I start thinking about there's some stuff that you do that's just that's just a generally annoying thing to do. And then there are some things about your person that's that part of yourself is so crippled and needs so much work that, you know what I mean? There are certain areas of my person and my personality that I wish I could strip from your memory, but I can't.
Yeah.
And, there's, I just.
And vice versa. But, but we accept each other.
That's love.
And I think the assumption that you're a fuck up and I'm a fuck up, I think that pre-assumption helps.
It does help. I can't always grasp it because I'm obsessed with perfection. But when I do grasp it in the times that I do, it just really does put things at a different place. And I've said this before because ever since I heard the guy say it, I really subscribe to it. Instead of getting together with somebody and everybody putting their best on the table, you just get together and you say, look, you're a fuck up and I'm a fuck up. So
right.
Where are you? Where is it?
Right.
So perhaps you suffer in areas I'm strong and I suffer in areas where you're strong and we can help each other.
Complement each other. So
but
a
lot of times people feel like they gotta hide it.
With my psychologist, where the guilty person always wants to get found out. Mm-hmm. So it's I have this negative side of me that I know that I'm never going to be able to completely hide from you. So if we're going to be in a long-term relationship, whether it's a relationship or friendship, you're going to see it. So let's go to this Bender party, and then I'll be in a situation where I won't be able to help but show this negative side of myself. And then I'm going to say, now that you've seen that, you want to leave? Instead of saying, no, we all suck as humanity, so I'm just going to lay it out on the table right now, and we're going to both assume that there's something deeply wrong with us.
Yeah.
And we're going to accept that about each other at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I think you don't have to do the Coke bender to get there.
Right.
But I love Cheno Moreno's voice. I don't know what the hell he's talking about 98% of the time, but I love this song. And I remember this song.
And I liked the drumming. I think you were right on that.
I remember this song.
Oh, really?
I bought this album because it had Denial on it. Denial, see that song. And there were 3 songs that I really loved, and that was one of them because of the way that Cheno. I'm like, yo, I heard that song before.
Yeah, but his voice is very.
I love
very
this
good.
song, so I'm gonna rank it very high.
It's so funny because Anthony was saying he said something about the drummer's voice. But in my mind, he just said something about the drummer. So then my mind was focusing on the drumming. I enjoyed the drumming. And I enjoyed the guy's voice. I totally agree with that. I would... I think I'm going to go with a 9.2.
9.8 for me. I really like
wait, 9.8?
Yep. It's too late. It's too late.
Well, you know what? Well, the reason I put it at 9.2 is because I don't want to encourage people to go and do all kinds of drugs.
Your Grace. I don't think
9.6. 9.6.
I don't think you're right. I don't think people are gonna go. Well, shit, Soraya gave.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Sorry, gave it.
Let's stop talking about it because now it's sounding very weird. Like, why would my score influence
think you
somebody
got that
bad?
much influence?
No, I
Allahu
don't.
Akbar.
Okay, so let's stop talking about it. It's very awkward. Moving right along. Stop, babe.
Dude, my neck.
I forgot. But sorry.
God
You
Almighty.
have to forgive me. I'm just a sinner.
Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Gone.